Tamar Braxton has revealed a terrifying near-death experience. On August 19th, the singer took to Instagram to share that she had recently suffered a frightening accident. According to her, she was found bloody, bruised, and barely conscious after a night out with Love and hip-hop Mendeecees Harris, who happens to be Yandy Smith's husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband. Police had to be called, and from there, everything spiraled into one of the messiest scandals of the year. Once the news broke, the internet exploded. Blogs, fans, and social media users pieced the story together like a live soap opera. The details that kept surfacing made it even harder to believe this was real life. What followed was a chain of events involving cheating rumors, a marriage under fire, Tamar's health crisis, police intervention, and social media tearing the situation apart in real time. By the time the dust began to settle, people were already saying Yandy had crossed the line from reality TV star into real-life scandal. And the way it all played out made it hard to disagree. Rewinding to the night in question, it was just another late night in Atlanta. B12 Lounge was packed, the music blasting, bottles popping, and right in the middle of the chaos, Tamar Braxton and Mendeecees Harris were looking far too comfortable together. Multiple eyewitnesses claimed they were locked in all night, laughing, leaning close, and whispering as if they had their own private world in the middle of the club. The body language raised eyebrows. One witness said Tamar was leaning on him, really leaning, and Harris wasn't backing away. It gave the impression of a stage scene, almost like a PR stunt, because they knew eyes were on them. And in Atlanta, nothing stays hidden for long. Someone is always recording or feeding the blogs. By around 1 a.m., Tamar and Harris allegedly left together. Witnesses insisted it wasn't just a coincidence. They left like a pair. Funky Dineva, a close associate of Tamar's, reportedly stepped in to drive her home, but Harris trailed right behind them in his own car. To many, that wasn't casual, it was intentional. When they arrived at Tamar's home, the night didn't end there. According to Dineva, Tamar and Harris went inside for an after-party with a few other friends. That's where the timeline turns dark. Hours later, Tamar was discovered in a pool of her own blood, missing teeth, and beaten so badly she nearly lost her life. Tamar's official explanation was that it was a tragic accident. But when lined up against the night's events, many on the streets didn't see it that way. They whispered about setups, revenge, and payback, pointing fingers straight at Yandy. For years, Yandy had stood by her marriage through jail time, cheating rumors, and online drama. She had publicly defended her husband again and again, even clapping back at fans who claimed other women could come between them. So to many, the idea that Yandy may have confronted Tamar that night didn't seem far-fetched. Online speculation grew louder. Some fans outright claimed Yandy beat up Tamar for sleeping with her husband. Reports of police being called added fuel to the fire, though details remained vague, as if someone wanted the truth buried. Meanwhile, Tamar had just started rolling out new music, and unexpectedly, a trailer for her project featuring Harris surfaced earlier than planned. Many believe the early release was not random, but strategic, damage control to distract from the gossip. Fans quickly pointed it out, accusing Tamar of covering up the scandal by casting Harris in her video, and pushing it out before the rumors consumed her. When pieced together, the entire timeline felt less like a messy night out and more like a full-blown soap opera, but with real people, real marriages, and real lives on the line. What makes the story even more complicated is the gray area around Tamar's injuries. To some, they were nothing more than the result of a bad accident. To others, they were clear signs of retaliation. And through it all, Yandy's history of defending her marriage, standing by Harris despite prison time, cheating rumors, and scandal after scandal, only made people believe she would go further than most to protect her relationship.
Oh, I know this DM. I was DMing her. That was me. Wipe your tears, honey.
Even her own castmates called her a liar to her face, and that moment proved just how far she's willing to go to protect Mendeecees. That's exactly why so many people instantly believed she might have pulled up on Tamar. And honestly, it's no surprise why all of this has left folks feeling so confused.
I'm so confused. This is not the story that I heard from my niece. I know that Yandy was not the one that was DMing her. Yandy's husband was. She's clearly lying to my face, and I'm not calling her out about it because I don't feel that I should.
Don't let the gray eyes fool you, because this scene showed fans exactly how protective Yandy is of her marriage. So protective that she'll cover up or spin stories just to keep it intact. So when news broke that Tamar was allegedly cozied up with Mendeecees, it didn't take long for people to believe Yandy might have pulled up on her. History shows Yandy doesn't just sit back, and the timing made it all the messier. Just days before the scandal exploded, Mendeecees and Yandy were all over social media celebrating her birthday. And he wasn't just giving the usual thanks fam post. He poured his whole heart out, writing, "Wow, 20 years of knowing you and 10 years of marriage. We've created a wonderful life together, raised incredible children, and faced challenges that only made our bond stronger. You are my foundation, my companion, my closest friend, and my greatest achievement. You mean everything to me, and I can't envision life without you. I love you. Happy birthday, Yandy." After the dinner, he even gave a toast in front of family and friends, calling her his inspiration and his everything. The moment was raw, public, and emotional, almost like a stamp that their bond was unshakable. So imagine being in Yandy's shoes, fresh off a public love fest with your husband, only to hear whispers that Tamar was spotted hugged up with him at a club, and even left with him afterward. To fans, it wasn't hard to picture Yandy snapping, because she's always been vocal about protecting her marriage and drawing hard boundaries. And let's be real, Atlanta is small. Word travels fast. So it wouldn't be a stretch to believe Yandy caught wind of the situation before Tamar even made it home. That's why Tamar's accident, happening just hours after the party, hit so hard. To many, it didn't feel random. It felt like Yandy made a move. What really convinced people was how personal the attack seemed. Tamar ended up battered and broken, while Mendeecees walked away without a scratch. To the gossip crowd, that felt too clean, almost like someone wanted Tamar to pay, not him. And people didn't forget Tamar's history. She's no stranger to feuds, from clashing with her sister Toni to her heated beef with Kandi Burruss. But those fights were usually just words, shade, and neck-snapping clapbacks. This time, the stakes were higher. The whispers tied her to another woman's husband, and that woman just happened to be Yandy, a wife known for protecting her household at all costs. The drama only deepened when Funky Dineva, one of Tamar's close associates, broke his silence. Instead of defending Tamar, he sided with Yandy, blasting Tamar for crossing the line. He went live on Instagram, furious that people assumed he was part of what he called a two-bit PR stunt. He told followers that he was collateral damage, dragged into Tamar's mess, and accused her of failing to clear his name when fans called him out. "Tamar," he said, "you didn't even try to tell people I had nothing to do with this. I was accused of not being a friend to you, but really, you weren't being a friend to me." His tone wasn't one of concern. It was disappointment, frustration, and a sense of betrayal. Tamar eventually responded on her Instagram story, tagging Funky and insisting she still loved him, but admitted her silence left room for false narratives. She denied faking her accident or using it as a PR stunt, made it clear she wasn't after anyone's husband, and said her focus was on healing and moving forward. Funky later reposted her response, accepted it, and wished her a smooth recovery, but his earlier rant left fans with more questions than answers. Still, the whispers about Yandy allegedly jumping Tamar won't die down. Tamar may be clarifying her side, but the timeline, the rumors, and the suspicious details keep fueling speculation. And while Tamar is showing she's focused on peace and recovery, the heat from that night continues to burn. It's messy, it's raw, and it's exactly the kind of scandal that keeps everyone glued to their screens, trying to piece together what really happened between Yandy, Tamar, and Mendeecees. At the end of the day, this isn't just another messy love and hip-hop feud. It's a reminder of how reality TV drama bleeds into real life, turning marriages, careers, and friendships into public battlegrounds. We've seen it before with other franchises, where cheating rumors and bruised egos spill out of the screen and onto the streets. And this Tamar, Yandy saga proves once again just how blurred the line is between entertainment and reality. Because when the cameras stop rolling, the consequences don't.